$3 million. Say it out loud, and it sounds like a finish line, the number where the dreaming stops and the deciding begins. But here is the strange thing about that number in the state of Wyoming. It does not buy one thing, it buys a dozen completely different lives, and which life you get depends entirely on where you are standing when you spend it. Stand in the town of Jackson, in the shadow of the Tetons, and $3 million is almost an apology. It is the price of a modest house on a small lot, a place to park your boots while the billionaires next door build their compounds. In the first half of 2023, not a single home in that valley sold for under $1 million. By early 2025, the average single-family home there crossed $7.4 million. $3 million in Jackson is not a kingdom, it is a foothold. Now get in the truck, drive a couple of hours, cross a mountain pass, watch the traffic thin, and the price signs fall away, and that same $3 million stops being a foothold and starts being an empire. Before we go any further, I want to say something to the people who have been with us a while. You told us we keep showing you places you could never actually find, listings that vanish before you can lift a finger. You were right. So today is different. Today we hand you the exact tools and the exact map. Every week we find the strangest properties in America. The ones at the edge of the map, the ones nobody knows are for sale, and we show you exactly how to get them. If that's the kind of dream you've been quietly carrying around, hit subscribe. Here is what almost nobody understands about Wyoming. It is one of the emptiest places left in the country, and most of it is not even for sale because it already belongs to all of us. Nearly half the state, around 30 million acres, is owned by the federal government and managed by the Bureau of Land Management and the United States Forest Service. The state itself owns another 3 million acres. What that means for a buyer is almost magical. You do not have to purchase the mountain behind your house because you can never lose it. It is public land, your backyard is a national forest, and it always will be. That single fact rewrites the math. In most of America, when you buy land, you pay for every acre you ever want to look at. In Wyoming mountain country, you buy a modest deeded ranch and you inherit the view of hundreds of thousands of acres you will never have to mow, never have to pay taxes on, and never have to share with the developer. So let me show you what $3 million actually gets you out here, with a real place, one you can verify yourself. There is a valley west of Cody called Wapiti. You reach it by driving the North Fork Highway toward the east gate of Yellowstone, past the Buffalo Bill Reservoir, through the heart of the Shoshone National Forest. Wapiti sits in a corridor that wildlife biologists consider one of the great migration routes on the continent, where elk and even grizzly move between the high country and the river bottoms. And tucked into the mountainside in that valley was a ranch called the Jim Creek Retreat. 93 acres of deeded land, 1,650 feet of a clear mountain creek running right through the property, a stocked fish pond, a creek bottom forest, a 4-bedroom home with the kind of view people in Jackson pay 10 times more just to glimpse from a balcony, looking straight up at Table Mountain and the Shoshone Peaks. Horse pastures, catch pens, a grazing lease on the public land beyond the fence. The asking price was $2,575,000. That is comfortably under your $3 million, with room to spare for a new truck and a winter's worth of hay. Now here's the part you need to hear, because it is the part that separates the dreamers from the people who actually end up owning these places. The Jim Creek Retreat has already sold. And most viewers, the moment they hear that, close the tab. Do not close the tab. Sold does not mean gone. A property like that does not evaporate. It still sits in that valley, 93 acres of it, and it now has a new owner whose name and mailing address are sitting in plain sight on the county tax record. You can look up the parcel, you can find the person, and you can write the one letter that nobody else thinks to send, the letter that says, "When you are ready to sell, call me first." That is how a surprising number of these ranches actually change hands, quietly, years before they ever touch a listing site again. But why does any of this exist? Why is there A whole tier of America where mountain ranches trade for the price of a Jackson driveway. The answer goes back more than a century to a promise this country made to anyone willing to suffer for it. The Homestead Acts gave land away to people who would live on it and work it. Wyoming filled up with cattle outfits and sheep ranches, families who broke themselves against the wind and the winters to prove up a claim and keep it. Buffalo Bill Cody himself founded a town out here at the turn of the last century, betting his name and his fortune on the idea that people would come for the wilderness, for the hunting and the fishing and the open sky. He was right. They came. And it is the descendants of those first families who are quietly selling out now. And the truth is, the work never got easier. The same things that keep these places affordable are the things that break people. The winters are long and they are serious. The road to your gate may not be plowed. The nearest hospital can be an hour of mountain driving away. Every generation, another ranching family decides the children are not coming back to run the place, and the land comes up for sale. That heartbreak is your opportunity. It always has been. There is another quiet reason the money keeps flowing into Wyoming. The state has no income tax at all. It has no estate tax and no inheritance tax. Property taxes are among the lowest in the nation. For a certain kind of buyer, a ranch out here is not just a refuge, it is a fortress for everything they have built. So the pressure on these mountain valleys is real and it is rising, which means the window on $3 million mountain country is not going to stay open forever. So how do you actually find the next one before the people in the cities do? You do not sit there refreshing 100 different broker websites. You build a machine that watches for you. Everything you need is in the pinned comment, but here is the short version. There is one durable portal that pulls in nearly every ranch and parcel listed across the entire state. You make a free account, you tell it exactly what you want, mountain country, a price ceiling near $3 million, the acreage and the keywords you care about, things like creek frontage or forest boundary, and you save that search. Then you switch the alerts to instant. From that moment on, when a ranch like the Jim Creek Retreat hits the market at dawn, you are not the 100th person to see it. You are the first. And when the perfect one shows up already sold, you remember what I just told you. You go to the county record, you find the owner, and you send the letter. Right now, as I am recording this, there is a luxury estate near Cody sitting on a piece of ground that runs straight up against the national forest, permanent mountain views, a lodge-style home, a guest cabin, and a property line that simply becomes wilderness with no fence between you and 1 million acres of public land. It is exactly the kind of place that, in the right valley, defines what 3 million can still buy out here. By the time you watch this, it may already be gone, which is exactly why you build the alert today and not tomorrow. So picture the 2 lives this one number can buy. In the first, you are in a small house in the most beautiful resort town in America, surrounded by people far richer than you, paying handsomely for the privilege of the view. In the second, you are 93 acres deep in a mountain valley, a creek running past your porch, a national forest for a backyard, and a new truck in the driveway because you came in under budget. The same $3 million. 2 completely different kingdoms. So tell me, if that money were sitting in your account this morning, would you take the little cabin tucked against the forest, or the wide open ranch with the creek running through it, and once you owned it, what is the very first thing you would build out there in a place where nobody could ever tell you no?